idea for Better Bridges started actually before I was involved with Friendly Streets. Darius and Lars were working with Summit U Planning Council on Victoria Street, and they encountered a lot of feedback about the bridge. And then we also had a similar situation with our Fairview Avenue project. There's an underpass underneath the freeway there, and it immediately came out in conversations with residents. That was just a huge barrier to walking and biking. It was a very unpleasant area. It's very loud. It's not easy to cross some of those frontage roads. And so that was identified as a consistent issue throughout the I-94 and Green Line corridor area, that those bridges were a barrier for people from the south getting up to the Green Line, that they're a barrier for people who live north of the freeway to come down further into Union Park and Summit U and enjoy all of those neighborhoods and everything that those neighborhoods have to offer.
Safety is like the number one thing we always hear. Priority always being given to cars, limits the accessibility for other modes of transport, whether that's walking, a person in a wheelchair, bicycling, skateboarding, whatever it be. There's very limited space for those modes, but there's plentiful space for cars. The bridges create a huge barrier. One, they're a physical barrier. They're just very uninviting spaces and kind of scary and dangerous to cross. But then there's also the psychological barrier that, some have literally torn apart communities.
Feel the vibe, more than best been testified. The poison all in those pesticides has still yet to be specified. You don't find a bit on my third eye, can see hieroglyphs. All you sheep can go find a clip. When the person come, they gon' plead the fifth. That's how it is. More power to the coward's lips. More power than a power strip. When I step in, I cause power trips. You steady sleep. After this, go hit repeat. I see your words on the record seat. Now look around, you still a sheep. Guess I'm a shepherd with a touch of leopard. Golden scepter, sipping nectar. Building depth collector. Still forgives his debtors. And he spits it clever. Still holds up and debtors. Still we come together. Still don't get the message like an open letter. So they gon' forget us, keep it copacetic. So we say forget it, still don't know no limits. Ego still the biggest, future still dependent on whoever gets it. Guess the burn is hidden, told you we is risen. Free you from your prison, I am Jazz. Yeah.
We had some monologues by the Points of Entry Players, which is a youth group led by Damone Presley who do monologues about the history of Rondo.
I learned a lot on the train during World War II. I met a lot of people. Some good and some not so good. But the one thing I didn't like was how all the captains called the person George. George this, George that. But I always set them straight. My name is Willie. Willie Lee Felix.
And then Victoria Theater had some of their youth lead an open mic, and then we finished with these wonderful Haitian dancers. And at that point, the sun had gone down, it was still kind of raining, but they were really getting people to come dance with them. It was a small group at that point, but there were these little kids who were super excited about dancing and really got into it, and it was just this lovely celebration of the end of summer, beginning of fall. We're on a bridge over a freeway in the rain, and we're dancing and clapping and celebrating. So that was one of my favorite moments.
When there is a gap between community and public agencies, decision makers and so forth, we're trying to bridge that gap. Working with community members well in advance of formal processes. If there's some plan for a street to be changed or for a park to be built or for something to occur, we thought it would be best to engage community members before the city begins a formal planning process or a public engagement process. One of the benefits of doing it that way is that the conversation can be very much about visioning and deliberation of a wide variety of possibilities for what a street could look like, or for what a park could look like, or for what a sidewalk might look like, and so forth.
Our reports and our data are collected with the hope that they can be a tool for the community, the public agency from, Union Park District Council or other district councils, to the city, to the county, to MnDOT, in revisioning spaces. For example, with our Fairview report, we found that protected bike lanes were the most popular sort of cycling infrastructure. The hope is that now people in our Fairview working group can take the report and say, well, people want protected bike lanes on Fairview, and maybe put a little bit of pressure on whoever's making these decisions to advocate for what we found out that people want.
And as we're setting everything up, a group of younger kids from the neighborhood was kind of out on the corner, and they said, what's going on? What's happening? And we said, well, there's gonna be a block party today. And they said, here? Like, this is for us? And in our front yard, they were just like, they were so excited. And I think that was just, it was one of those moments where where you realize this is why we do what we do. It was such a genuine moment of surprise and also, I think, gratitude. They were so excited, and they felt, they were expressing like in their own space, this was all kind of for them. And I think that's what Friendly Streets is about, like providing those spaces for people to re-envision what our streets are about, what our sidewalks are about, our bridges, and to be able to have ownership of that as well, and to be able to experience them in ways that they haven't before.
There was a divide within the community, its culture, its history, the thriving community of Rondo when 94 was placed right through the community, and it kind of divided what the community's fabric, the enrichment, what the community had built, where families were surviving, striving, and prospering. So that was much of what was my understanding of a lot of things that had happened without community participation, without engaging the community and asking what they, wanted within the community. And it was just something that had happened, and the community has been going through a transition ever since. When the youth were involved in this, they really didn't understand what being on a bridge was about. But once they understood why it was important to showcase their Rondo monologues, it really had changed their understanding of what the community had went through. And after that, the youth were really excited about how they seen people come together from all walks of life, different colors, young and older.
We have 8 bridges actually that runs through Rondo, but in particular 6 bridges that's being worked on or have been worked on. And I like to think of those as living bridges of Rondo. And this is opportunity to kind of restore. The late 50s, early 60s, when they started building the freeway, that area was a very productive commercial and residential area that was just totally destroyed. There was not much give and take with the city. It was just like bulldozing through a neighborhood. many people, I think there was at least 600 homes lost. But what it mainly did was destroy the fabric, in particular the economic fabric of the community. And these bridges are kind of strategically located in places that kept the community connected in one way from the north and the south side, from the university up to Selby Avenue. So now, 2016, 2015, is saying how do we redo these bridges? How do we make sure that we name these bridges in honor of the people that used to live there, honor the stores, honor the co-ops? And so for me, it's another way of giving back or to be part of whatever grand thing is going to happen there.
I love you, 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 I love you so much. So let's build a better bridge for all of these kids. Let's show them more love. Yeah, that was great, huh? Let's show them more love and the last hate. I know violence sucks, so sometimes you gotta turn your face because it's really hard when you are living in that cage and you can't understand, well, your neighbor's name. I mean, you can't understand, well, your neighbor's pain, and you can't understand, well, why your neighbor came. But there's a difference, right, that we all have to deal with. The difference is, well, I don't know how you feeling, but if I build this bridge, I can know how you feeling. We can take that gap and, well, then conceal it. We can take that gap and make it disappear. All we have to do is listen up with these ears. I mean, please understand, when you cry, I cry too, even if I don't appear to. I mean, I'm right here, right near you. You ain't gotta be afraid even though you're wearing yellow. I'm just saying, I love you too, and you're my fellow. So I'm here to say one thing: I love you, 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 I love you so much.